In this video, traders, let's talk about the burden of journaling. Stay tuned. Hey guys, warm welcome to you. All right, so thank you very much for joining me. Trading journal. You know you should have a trading journal, right? We all know that we should be documenting our trades, but not only documenting our trades, journaling and understanding the operational side of the business, why we took the trade, the filter, the trigger, the kind of market regime, all the little nuances and subtleties of price that we're looking at. But we also need to understand the mindset and thinking and emotions that are driving the decisions. All right, so in a perfect world, we have this kind of everything section where we go, hey, I'm journaling, I'm going to journal absolutely everything. And some people do that. Some people are, documenting everything they're thinking, every single trade, documenting the maximum adverse excursion, maximum favorable excursion, all the data and stuff, and they just do everything. And then you've got the other side where people are doing absolutely nothing. Now, you might be going, I know I need to journal, and maybe not journaling and doing this and doing that, thinking, listen, am I doing it right? Should I be doing more? And we always kind of get this journaling guilt, for want of a better word, where we think, hey, you know what, maybe I should be journaling. Here everyone says that we should be journaling, and I am, but I'm not doing enough, or this, that, and this. And I definitely recommend you do some, right? We don't want to be at this end at all. We want to be doing something, right? But how far you take it along this path to everything is very much dependent on you personally. It depends on your trading style, depends on what you're trying to achieve, depends on your personality, depends on lots of things. And so don't make journaling a burden, all right? We should be doing enough to get some value from it, but not overdoing it that you think, I really can't bother to do it, and at the end of the day, blah, blah, blah. So think about different ways of doing it. There's different ways you can do this or this. You can say, okay, listen, I'm going to journal my very best trades and my very worst trades from the day or from the week. You have to journal at the end of each day. If you find that you're too tired, all this kind of stuff, then just journal at the end of the week. Make sure you don't forget about what you've done, because often that's fresh in our mind at the end of the day if you're a day trader. But hey, if you want to journal every few days, if you want to kind of allocate an hour or two once a week to kind of mark up the charts and think about your trades and do that, then do that. You don't have to be every day looking through reams and reams of stuff, nor do I believe you have to document every single trade. There are some trades that are like, meh, they're okay trades. They were maybe C-grade setups. You took them, they worked, they didn't work. Maybe there's not much to learn from them. I'd take them again. I want to change my sizing on them. Structure was okay. It's just one of those trades. Or you might not want to document those. You might want to say, hey, listen, I want to focus on my very best trades. Hey, that was a great trade today. How can I extract more from that trade? How can I add to the position? How can I have improved my entry? How can I improve my exit? How can I identify more trades like that in the future? That's worth putting the effort in. And if you have a finite amount of time, which we do have, right? Because if you're journaling, you're taking time from somewhere else, whether that's from actively trading, whether it's some rest, whether it's some time with your family, whether it's from if you're working, it does come from somewhere else. And so if you're going to take that time and use it to journal, which I believe you should, then why not use it to the most maximum benefit? And that might not be spending time looking at every little trade. It might be like, hey, let me look at the top 10% of worst trades, top 10 or 20% of best trades, and journal those. And so in a trading day, you might have an average day, you might say, I don't need to journal today. I can say, hey, listen, I took this, I did that, and it might be a couple of sentences. But then some days might be really busy and you go, hey, I'm going to document that trade specifically and dig into the nuances and subtleties of that trade, because if I can do more of those, it means that I'm going to get further ahead of where I'm trying to get to. And that's the name of the game, right? Doing much more of what's working and less of what is not. And similarly, if you have a catastrophic trade, but a losing trade that just didn't work out for you, didn't feel good, didn't make you any money, wasn't profitable, then you can say, hey, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to really dig in and find out what I could have done better here. I'm not just going to kind of go, I was a loser in this, and I'm going to say, okay, listen, why did I take the trade? Is there any variable I missed? Should I adjust something? Is there something to be learned from this? Is it just one of those things? And document that. And so you now, instead of having this burden of doing everything, you can kind of get to this point here, right? Where this sweet spot zone here. And you go, okay, listen, I'm documenting, once or twice a week, perhaps. I'm documenting my very best trades, my very worst trades. I'm trying to find things from the best trades that I can double down on and reasons to get on these trades quicker and more size and all that stuff. And I'm trying to find the worst trades and trying to reduce those. And all of a sudden you've reduced that burden. Now listen, if you're someone who wants to do everything, you carry on doing it, because that's going to be better. You've got all the data, and if you enjoy doing it and you enjoy spending all the time, then fine. But this is really for someone who's like, oh, I don't journal as much as I should, or maybe you don't journal at all. It's like, okay, you can find a middle ground. You know, there are great traders out there who aren't excessive about or obsessive about journaling, and they're quite open about it. They're like, hey, I don't need to journal every day. You know, I know what I did wrong. I don't need to think about it. Now, times they'll go and say, hey, I want to review, and I'll review certain aspects of those great trades because I want to improve them, or I want to make sure I don't make that same mistake again. That's different. So it's finding your groove, and it's not being kind of guilt tripped into thinking, oh, I should be tracking absolutely everything possible. So find out what you think is right for you. You know, if you don't want to journal every day, don't do it every day. You know, if you feel like you should do, but you don't, maybe you can allocate a little bit of time, resources. Maybe you can do it every other day. But the thing is, there's no right or wrong. You know, there's no right or wrong. It's about finding what suits your personality, your trading style, and just doing something that's of value. Even if you go, hey, you know what? I don't want to journal, I'm not interested in doing the journaling. You've got to be careful, of course, you're not doing it from a lazy perspective. Well, I'm sure you're not. If you're watching this video, I'm sure you're trying to improve. But you go, okay, I've got this short amount of time, I'm going to allocate it, and I'm only going to look at my kind of very best trades and try and find out how I can do more of those. Or maybe you're journaling and go, hey, the biggest moves of the day, how can I journal, and not necessarily the trades I took, but the trades I missed, or the trades I could get better at. So there's plenty of ways you can allocate those resources. So don't feel like you should be like 1,000 metrics on each trade, thinking about your thoughts and all this type of stuff. You know, you do what works for you. Of course, step your game up, do what you're going to push you forward, but at the same time, don't feel like, oh, I'm not doing all this, I'm not going to make it, because it's simply not true. So find your edge, find your, or your journaling edge, should I say. Where do you fit on that curve? Nothing, everything. Somewhere in the middle is normally the right place to be. Take care, see you next one, keep your risk managed. Bye-bye.